the markets are experiencing unprecedented volatility. A massive sell-off in early trading has triggered circuit breakers across the board. Breaking news: the markets are experiencing unprecedented volatility. A massive sell-off in early trading has triggered circuit breakers across the board. Breaking news: the markets are experiencing unprecedented volatility. A massive sell-off in early trading has triggered circuit breakers across the board. Breaking news: the markets are experiencing unprecedented volatility. A massive sell-off in early trading has triggered circuit breakers across the board. Breaking news: the markets are experiencing unprecedented volatility. A massive sell-off in early trading has triggered circuit breakers across the board. Breaking news: the markets are experiencing unprecedented volatility. A massive sell-off in early trading has triggered circuit breakers across the board. Breaking news: the markets are experiencing unprecedented volatility. A massive sell-off in early trading has triggered circuit breakers across the board. Breaking news: the markets are experiencing unprecedented.
was chasing shadows, moving too fast. Didn't see the way our love couldn't last. Now I'm stuck replaying what I put you through. Every night I'm haunted by the thought of you. If you need my love, call me and I'll step on through. And we can talk all night long. If you want this love, then call me and I'll drive to you. And we can touch all night long. Just call me and I'll come through.
What's good, everyone? Welcome. I'll see I've been muted this whole time. Apologies for that. I was just stating that we are looking at the market open. We did not have any crazy movements to the upside or downside. However, we do have a 1 hour area of resistance over here at the top that I've drawn out for you guys. That is located off the high we have off to the left. So let me just annotate it for those who might be joining the stream a little bit late. 1 hour resistance. Alright, so we can expect some movement from this level, whether it's to the upside or a pullback down towards our daily resistance, which we are currently already above, treating it as support. As you can see, massive bottom wicks indicating buyers stepping into the market at this level, hence we can expect a continuation to the upside. We are within a 5-minute resistance block, however it is quite a small time frame, so I'm not really thinking much of it, and we can expect this region to get broken and then possibly even a retest off of this level before we have a continuation to the upside on the smaller time frame. So let's have a look at what gold does currently on the 1 minute time frame. And yeah, welcome everyone, welcome. Alright, so we have had a pullback from this 5-minute resistance. Could we see a deeper pullback? definitely possible. We could also just be forming a nice little bottom wick for this 15-minute, 5-minute candle. We are coming up to that 50 EMA, and we have rejected off our previous high. It's just about being patient now. No need to jump into anything or force a buy below our resistance level. For those who are looking to possibly get involved within the market today, I would personally suggest you'd rather wait for a break above our resistance. Once we pull back, that's where I would look to possibly enter and then go long, targeting our 1-hour resistance. If you were to jump into anything or you didn't have much time, however, I don't recommend trading when you have a time crunch or time limit. Always try trade with a calm mind and no force, structure, and wait for your confirmations. No need to rush into anything and get caught off guard. 5 minutes resistance block is doing quite well. We are seeing some rejection on the 1-minute time frame, as you can see with that little top wick. So we're just waiting to see if we do hold or come back down towards our 50 EMA on the 1-minute time frame. Hope everyone's had a lovely week. I've had quite a calm, decent start to the week personally. No need for any trades, so just waiting for news as well to blow over and so forth. Market is quite choppy, price action isn't the best, however I can't complain. Welcome to everyone watching. So yeah, let me know what's everyone's bias for the day, if it's bullish or bearish. Me personally, I still have a bearish sentiment, for the simple fact that yesterday's candle did close. Let me just show you on the daily time frame. It did end up closing within our daily resistance. However, it formed a doji candlestick, as you can see, massive wicks to the top as well as the bottom. So therefore today opened respecting that trend line and pushed up, which I'm expecting was just a little wick fill, because if we come back down into the zone, we can definitely start seeing bigger drops, as there's not much support over here on the left, hence the trend line. So it is something to be very careful for over here in the middle of nowhere. Our 5-minute resistance still holding strong. Right, once again, if we do push up, or once we do push up above our resistance, just be patient. Don't try enter or catch a trade off of the break. Rather wait for that retest and have not only a better risk to reward, more confirmations, but ultimately make more money, which is why we're here at the end of the day, isn't it? Massive top wick on that 1 hour with 18 minutes to close. beautiful 5-minute resistance block is holding beautifully. So I am expecting a pull back now into either the support region over here, and if we don't hold it, possibly even further down into our 1-hour support over here, which is a way better region to take a possible long off of, as we are lower. We do have that trend line that could always give you that support with that bottom wick being formed. We do have a 50 EMA, and then of course if we do close below the, if we do end up closing below the support, of course we would know then that our market, or the gold market, is planning to continue selling. Right, I did mention in yesterday's stream, if you go back or you were participating, that I am looking to take long-term buying positions off of our weekly support, and once again I will show you it is located around from 4,000 to about 4,070. Right, so this is where I'd look to possibly take long-term positions off of. So at the moment I am still not going to force a short-term trade if I don't need to. I'd rather wait for the market to come back down. However, I thought I'd just share my little analysis for those who are trading or in the market who are available. They could just enjoy my input, as well as have, I suppose, some extra confirmation opposed to your own. I always like it when me and other traders take the same setups, because it means that we're seeing similar things within the market or catching the same size moves, even though we have completely different strategies, completely different confirmations. Just a general move in price structure. Everyone uses market structure, and I think they should. It's key, it's basics, and it's above all. I mean, if you're not breaking a high or breaking a low or forming some sort of structure, we're not really going anywhere. So there's no point of participating in the market if you're just consolidating or ranging sideways. So I think it is great to be able to share and do things like this live streaming. I see we have over 130 people currently in the stream. Welcome. I don't know where everyone's watching from, but you are more than welcome. Please like and subscribe for more continued streams. Yeah, it's something I've been enjoying to do. I enjoy communicating with these other traders from all around the world. I feel like trading is such a lonely career compared to other things, so it's great to be able to connect. And yeah, massive top wick on that 1-hour candle, 14 minutes for it to close. So I will definitely not be surprised if the next candle opens up and either shoots to the top to go fill that wick and then reverses towards our support, or it could open up negatively to form that bottom wick and then end up reversing towards our resistance, right? But off of our blue zones is where I would ideally look to take positions off of today. If you're intraday trading, for those who are watching, I would say just be patient for us to reach the next zone. We don't really want to participate with the market being in the middle of nowhere. We do have a 15-minute resistance that has formed as well. So this could also be an area where you can look to possibly participate in. Whether you see the market coming down and have a short bias, or you are trading with the trend, which I recommend, which is currently going upwards, as you can see higher highs and higher lows being formed. Remember that the trend is your friend, right? So we are currently in a bullish trend, so you do want to ideally be looking for buys. You do not want to be catching sells. Hence, I'm also just sitting on my hands and not forcing anything. Right, I think it's very important to continue trading with the trend, as you would catch much larger and simpler moves with less drawdown, rather than trying to force a short against a bullish trend. right? Because even if we do pull back into our 1 hour support and bounce off this trend line, we would then ultimately still be bullish as we haven't broken it and we are continuing to form bullish market structure.
With Premium, you get to focus on the music. Explore
Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone in the chat. pushing down to our little area of support. Let's see if we hold this yellow zone. If we reject there, then for those who are looking to participate in the market, I would then definitely wait for just a break above that 15-minute resistance, and then on the retest you can look to enter. Just be patient. Although it does look like we do want to come possibly reverse. Let's just check here. No, okay, the small time frame, we can clearly see we found some level of support on our yellow zone, our daily resistance from yesterday. So we'll see now if we end up pushing above this high towards our 15-minute resistance over here. Can we close above? Can we push and close above this 50-day moving average? If so, I think we should be good to continue up towards our resistance. Straight back down. Market's coming for this imbalance level. We did tap that level. Let me just drop down to the 1 minute. Wow, look at that reaction of our imbalance. Can we hold it though? Or are we coming straight back down to our 1 hour support level? Let's see. Trading Fanatic, welcome brother. What's good? Mr. Miami in the building. We are still seeing some quite solid bearish pressure with those top wicks being formed. Let's just see if we can close below this previous 1 minute candle. Seems like this level is holding, but Sellers are very strong at this level. Not afraid to come in. As you can see, those top wicks being formed as we push up, sellers immediately stepping into the market. Here we go once again. Sellers pushing that price right back down as we come into that value area. However, this imbalance level seems to be holding as we haven't closed below it, which is quite nice. It should start forming a nice bottom wick as well on the higher time frames now. So we should start seeing a rejection to the top side towards our blue 15-minute resistance if this level does hold. Right, we'd ideally want to see a break and a closure above this 1 minute resistance. If it does hold, you can expect a continuation to the downside. Seems to be respecting our 1 minute resistance. Let's see if we close below it though. 27 seconds left for this 1 minute candle. Remember, it can always flip. That's why we don't enter or trade off of moving candles. Always be careful for that. Don't want to get caught out in that little liquidity grab or that fake out. However, we are below our resistance zone and we did form that nice top wick. So it's looking good for a continuation to the downside. The next level I'll be looking at is this 1 minute support. Just want to see if we don't have any higher time frame support. Nope. None. So 15-minute resistance incoming. Strong push from the bulls up past our previous levels of resistance on the left. Our next area of resistance will be over here, located right by our 50-day moving average, which I am not too worried about, right? So ideally, gents, if you want to be safe, I'd look for something like this today. As long as you have your 1, 2, 3, I'd look for something like that of our 15-minute resistance today. Else, if you do end up rejecting our resistance on the 5-minute and come down to our support, it would then honestly be a different story depending on whether we hold it or not, as it is again lower back into our higher time frame resistance, which is our yellow daily zone. So I would not like that. For a continued push to the upside, we definitely need that 15-minute resistance to be broken. Bulls are taking control. We are seeing a nice strong push up, so be ready for this, gents. Diane, I see you deleted a message. Welcome, Mr. Lopesher, in the chat. What did you delete there in the chat? What were you asking? Strong push from the bulls. Diane, I don't know if you were here yesterday in the live stream. However, we had our yellow daily resistance zone, which we have finally, of course, pushed above, retested off of, and now we are continuing to push, right? This is what we'd want for a continuation. Let's just wait and see what the market does once it does come to our 15-minute resistance. Just want to see, can I move this? There we go. We do have this current 1 hour candle that is a DW formation, right? Simply meaning that the third candle is engulfing the middle bearish candle, which is a bullish sign. We are of course expecting the current bullish candle to go up and fill the previous candle's wick, hence the 15-minute resistance zone. I'm waiting for the market to see whether we'll hold it and reverse to our 1 hour support, or whether we are going to break it and continue pushing up towards our next resistance, which more than likely is likely. How's it? I said it looks like it was forming a double top on the hourly. It does look like it's forming a double top, however this current 1 hour candle that's engulfing is you know, something to look out for. Structure is king, remember. We are seeing higher highs and higher lows being formed on the lower time frames, so don't be caught out trying to trade against the trend. Just be careful of that. I do see that though, there's massive wicks on the 1 hour time frame here. Here that little push comes to into the 15-minute resistance. remember, as traders, we don't predict, we react purely of what the market shows us, right? So it is important for us to be patient, and we can want the market to go wherever we want it to go, but the market doesn't listen to us or care about us at the end of the day. So it's all about being patient and reacting off the price the market is printing and what it is telling you. I thought we almost had a sneaky little tap into our resistance zone. However, it seems we have just missed it, unless I drew it wrong. No. Just shy of that resistance zone. 5 minutes with a nice top wick. Could this be the pullback we've been waiting for? Patience, patience, patience. Patience pays, gents. We do have the current 15-minute candle that has engulfed the previous 15-minute, which is quite nice. We have, of course, pushed and closed above our 5-minute support as well. It's just all about these lower time frames now, whether we are going to continue up or whether the sellers are taking control up here at these levels. 4,615. It's today's current gold market price, 31st of March 2026. We had quite a strong push up back, or that rally up to 5,000, and then boop, straight back down. As soon as people started lining up by the doors and shops for gold and silver, it was all over the news. I already knew. Major pullback coming. Same thing with crypto. It happens every cycle. When your taxi driver starts talking about crypto, you know, it's the top of the bull run. It's time to start exiting. Take your money and leave. Tell me, where's everyone watching from in the chat? Are you joining from Africa, Europe, Asia, Middle East? Where's everyone joining us from today? Drop your continent in the chat, guys. Don't be scared. 187 people currently watching. Welcome. Finally up into our 15-minute resistance. Here that push comes. As you can see, massive candles once again. This type of volume, it should not be an issue to close above our 15-minute resistance and then come retest where the viewers could look to possibly enter to go long, targeting our 1 hour resistance located at 4677. Again, this is not financial advice, this is just me giving you my opinion on the market. We are within that 15-minute resistance now. Will we hold it or possibly push up and break above it ideally? Or is this resistance zone going to hold like our previous 5-minute zone and push back down into our yellow zone? I think the size of these candlesticks show me that buyers are quite prevalent in this region. I do also see some sort of 3-step rule playing out. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of the 3-step rule, but we have a phase of accumulation where the market is just consolidating sideways. We then have manipulation, which is our fake out, and on the third and final phase we then have our distribution, which seems to be playing out quite nicely. I know it tends to happen quite frequently on Nasdaq. Big pull back down on the smaller time frame. Can we hold the zone or do we break below it? Let's see. That bottom wick is coming in. I think it could just be a pullback or not. We are below that zone already. Let's see. Some nice volume coming into the market during this New York session now. Finally starting to see a bit of movement. We did end up pulling up and closing within our zone. So let's just be patient and see what this next candle does. It's easy for this next candle to wick up back into that zone so fast as well. So just be careful. You see what I was talking about with that wick? A no-go. Very nice bottom wick on the 5 minutes, indicating there is bullish pressure within this resistance level, which is good. Now with that bottom wick being formed, I do expect a push up. We would like a strong push up into this resistance or previous high ideally to start seeing a continuation 8 seconds before this 1 minute candle closes. Definitely a closure above the previous one ideally. There we go, it flips bullish. Oh, and it closes bearish. It is a doji candle though, so I won't be surprised if we flip down to form a bottom wick and then flip back up to go target this previous or next high. We can of course do the inverse as well. I'm just speaking based off experience. Let's see, do we form a bottom wick and flip now? 30 seconds left for this 1 minute candle. Strong move to the downside. do seem to be respecting this 15-minute resistance. Bottom wicks being formed on this 5-minute though.
Hi, I'm Sizwe Mpofu Welsh, and I'm the host of SMW.
Very, very, very slow market or price action movement. That 5-minute does have a bit of a bottom wick. Can we pull back and close within our resistance though, is the real question. No, doesn't look like it. This 1 minute has rejected off of our 30-minute zone. Let's see what the next minute candle does. In no man's land, yeah, in the middle of nowhere. Look back on this 1 hour. Dion was mentioning a double top. It does seem we have filled it. Again, the 5-minute candle closing now in 8 seconds. Can we close within the zone? We did close within our zone, which is still good. straight back down off of our resistance zone. Our resistance zones seem to be holding quite nicely. Gold struggling to break above it, eh? Struggling to break above it. So next we have our 15-minute support. Let's see if we can hold this level. Strong pullback down from our resistance. Massive top wick on that 30-minute candle. To be honest, with a top wick like that, I wouldn't be surprised if we pull straight back down into our 1 hour support. It's a massive wick indicating sellers, of course, with all their orders placed upon this 30-minute resistance. Hence, I'm going to take away this support. I'm not even going to think about it. And from here, the next 30-minute support is down here, similar close to our 1 hour level. So on the 5-minute, you can see quite a nice M formation, which is quite bearish. I don't know if you can see that. Yes, we can always reverse and pull back. However, our resistance zones do or is holding at the moment. You can see that 1 hour wick that was filled, which I was speaking about earlier. Five-minute, pulling back a little bit over here. Imbalance level, or what your ICT traders like to call your fair value gap. Don't trade fair value gaps, I don't use them. However, my mentees will definitely know a thing or two about the imbalance level. seem to have rejected off of this little trend line. Market just consolidating. Not much movement. Hopefully we can get a little push up to go fold that 30-minute wick. Would be nice. Is it realistic though? Probably not. Anything's possible though. We still have our 30-minute resistance. I would definitely put my stop loss below this trend line as well as the zone and look for a minimum of a 1, 2, 3. If I don't have a 1, 2, 3 risk to reward ratio, I would not take the trade. Alright. Just to explain to you viewers quickly the power of why I always state having a 1, 2, 3 risk to reward ratio at minimum is that you only need a 30% hit rate or win rate to be profitable with a 1, 2, 3. So stop trying to chase these small 1 to 1, 1 to 2 moves and rather be patient for a 1, 2, 3 because I can lose 7 out of my 10 trades, and if my last 3 hit TP or take profit, I'm back into the green. Alright, I've actually made money. Although I've only won 3 out of my 10 trades, I still can make money. That's why it's very important to look at your risk management and your approach to it, your reasons to why. Are you able to catch these 1, 2, 3s compared to the little 1 to 1 scalps on the 1 or 5 minute time frame? You know, all these things play effect into your profitability at the end of the day. So I am only looking at executing trades possibly from the 21st of April. That would be after CPI, if I'm not concerned, that if I'm not mistaken, my bad. That's Tuesday after CPI. That's when I usually start trading for the month. So more to the end of the month. My bills and everything is covered through last month's trading, so I'm more than happy to just sit and watch price and teach you guys also how to be patient and not force setups. You know, not every day or not every week is a trading week. It just is what it is, whether you like to admit it or not. Setups don't present themselves every day, guys. At least not the ones I look at. No other professional trader I know trades every single day as well. So yes, it is possible for you to catch smaller moves and make money intraday. But me, ideally, I want my freedom, right? I'm here, I'm using it as a tool to make my money and then go have my freedom for the month. So this month I said I'd really want to push on the YouTube channel and get us past that 1K subscribers. We're 19 subscribers away from 1,000, guys. So please feel free to like and subscribe. It helps us grow and for me to continue pushing out these live trading sessions with you guys, right? Doing this out of the love for me and documenting the journey so you guys can see also that you don't need to follow these big gurus and pay these crazy amounts of money to get some information, to see someone make money consistently off of the charts, right? I believe TJR has just been exposed. I don't want to get into any beef or drama within the industry, but I mean, it's crazy, guys. It's crazy. And so I'm here showing you guys reading the candlesticks live giving you my input live. You can't fake this stuff, right? You can fake a pre-recorded course, you can take someone else's material, you can post other people's setups, signals, everything like that, but you can't fake reading the market live in front of you, taking setups, taking wins and losses. It's all part of the game, right? Like I've mentioned, I'm not a robot, so I don't have a 100% win rate, but I do have about a 67 to 73% win rate at the moment consistently, which is more than double what I need to be profitable with my 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio. So I'm pretty happy right now. I'm just chilling, waiting for this gold market to play out. It's moving so slowly. Horrible price action today once again after the news, but it is what it is.
Whether you're relaxing at home or out and about, make your music move with you. With Premium, you can download your music at higher quality, listen to songs ad-free, and play them in any order. Tap the banner to learn more.
Whoever you are in the chat, I see you with your heart emojis or 100 emojis. Welcome. Shining through is true. What a classic. Finally seeing some momentum to the upside. Minutes as that little bottom wick coming in. Could be a good sign for pressure or momentum to the upside. Should start seeing a little push up now. Six seconds for this candle to close. Market really playing off this resistance level. You can see how quickly pull back, recover, pull back on that open and then recover again. Bulls and bears are definitely fighting at this level. However, we are at a resistance level, so the bears do have a bit of an advantage. However, nothing is stopping the bulls from taking control and pushing us up further. Besides this resistance zone. Let's see. Can the bulls take control here or not? There's that flip. Two and a half minutes for this 5-minute candle. I would like to see it flip now towards our previous resistance. There we have the flip as we speak. There's that flip. Now we need a continued push up towards our next resistance zone up here on the left. So let's see what happens. Sellers again stepping in, pushing that market or price back down with that top wick very quickly. The bulls do seem to have been fighting to get the market to this level, eh? Let's see if they have control of the market though. I do expect this current candle to push up towards this wick. Let's see if you can have a closure above that though, ideally. Again, we're not just jumping into anything, right? I do need that confirmation, so I'm just being patient. Now we have that push up to fill that wick which I mentioned. Can we close above it though? I would like to see the sizes of the candles to start increasing. If you look at the size of this candle, 0.02%, right? I would like them to start being more this size, 0.03, 0.08%. So yeah, we have quite small candles indicating that volume could be dying down. However, if bulls take control within this level of the market or this region and we do get a nice sized candle to the upside towards our resistance on the left, it could be a promising sign for us to break this resistance. Else, straight back down, baby. Alright, we are also within a sort of channel area. You can see. due to us having all these bullish candles, it was natural for us to have a little pullback. We do seem to be respecting this trend line, which is quite good. We need a flip to the upside though, because that top wick is not too promising. There's that flip of the trend line we just drew. Market rejecting this resistance level, it seems. I mean, not much to it, as you guys can see. We are having quite a bit of consolidation at the moment, with the market really just moving sideways. I mean, we're not really getting a push up or down for the last 2 hours. We've just been in this range of about 200 pips. 20 pips, sorry, what am I saying? So I am expecting, you see we rejecting this trend line, so I am expecting a natural pullback towards our 1 hour support for the rest of the evening, of which will depend if we hold it or not, whether we continue down. Once we do pull back into our daily resistance though, it is something to keep in mind that the current moving daily candle will have a massive top wick then, right, and lots of sell orders coming into the market at this region, which therefore afterwards I would then, if we close within our daily resistance, expect a continued pullback towards our weekly support around between 4,000 and 4,080, right, which I've mentioned at the beginning of the stream. So quite flat movement. I don't have confirmations. No trade for me for the stream. I mean, let's see how long are we into the stream? Almost 2 hours into the stream, no setup, no confirmations. I think I'm going to call that a day then on my end. For those who are still watching or might be watching later, we do have this 30-minute form area of resistance, right? And like I've mentioned before, if we do end up getting a closure above, we can look for possible entries within the zone targeting that 1 hour resistance that I've mentioned to the left, located at 4677. Right, other than that, I hope everyone has a blessed day further. I'm going to call it a day from my end. Once again, we do have the market slowly pushing back up. Let's see what it just does quickly off of this 5-minute zone. If we reject it, I'll call it a day. If we do end up pushing up above our 30-minute zone, I will look to stay a little bit longer. Well, is it going to give me the pop that we've been waiting 2 hours for? That 15-minute does have a bottom wick, but we are starting to see bigger bullish candles, which I did mention earlier is something that we'd be looking for, right? You need that volume, that momentum to push the market out of your resistance and be able to break it ultimately. Because there's lots of sell orders sitting within the zone now where all these wicks are formed, lots of money sitting up here. So hence I expected a little liquidity grab, a retest then to try to take people out who went long on the break, and then we'd have our final move up or push up towards our 1 hour resistance, right? Not much happening. We had that push, natural pullback now, but it's just not giving me much, gents. Let's see if we have a final pop now with this next 5-minute candle opening in the next minute or so. Else I'm going to call it a day on my end. We do also have a new 1 hour candle opening in 6 minutes. Of course, you can see we did end up pulling and pushing up towards the top of that wick which I mentioned earlier with the previous 1 hour candle that has closed. So we do seem to also have some sort of inverse head and shoulders once again. I don't know why this pattern shows up so much. So all these things, right, can show and play out, but if you don't have a confirmation, you're not going to want to take a trade. You might want to, but you shouldn't. Once again, just casually pulling back below our zone. We have rejected that 5-minute supply zone with a top wick indicating sellers are taking control of the market, ultimately pushing the gold price back down below our 30-minute resistance. Right? That makes the second tap or retest, and 1, 2, 3, 4 top wicks within that area, which is quite insane. Strangely enough, we did end up closing just at the bottom of that resistance. However, if we zoom in, we can see that we ultimately did close below it, which to me states that this zone is respected and we should expect a massive strong pullback now, which is seeming to happen as we speak. Right, so just choppy price action, no confirmations for me, no need to take a trade if the conditions aren't there and confirmations aren't there. At the end of the day, it's important to remember to protect your capital, right? With no capital, you don't have any skin in the game. So taking these unnecessary or rush trades of confirmations you don't have is completely unnecessary. So look after your capital, gents. I'll see you in the next stream, possibly tomorrow, same time, New York session. Thank you for everyone who joined in. I truly appreciate it. We have had over 200 people again in the stream today. No announcement on any socials, so I truly appreciate it. Please remember to like and subscribe, and then I'll see you, gents, in the next one. Peace.